Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you can't hear me, do actually send in a comment. If you can hear me, just you can actually send this. Hi friends, this is Saturday evening night. Hope you're having a good time with your family and your loved ones. We are back to this channel in this video again, sharing about Sushant Singh diary. Deepti will be coming on board soon. She'll be revealing more information from Sushant Diaries. I would say these information are big time revelation, exclusive informations, and thanks to Deepti Ji, who have been continuously sharing this on social media like Twitter account and as well as in YouTube. She'll be coming up soon. In fact, she was out and she specifically rushed to do this show. So have to thank her a lot for that. While waiting for that, I think she'll be, please excuse me with I'm having a very dry cough for a very long time. Uh, Lately, there have been some sharing in other videos. Hi, Padmama. Hi, Shri Sairam. Welcome, welcome. Hope both of you are fine. And and also those viewers out there. Now, friends, there have been lately some YouTubers sharing some information about CBI have already done their investigation and they will do justice for Sushant case. And this investigation will be out soon, which means the verdict will be out soon. Now, the thing is, this information have been out and people are talking about it, but so far there's no news yet. I do not know what's the purpose behind it. Are they trying to test water? You know, I hope it will be for good. Let's welcome Miss Deepti G. She's on the backstage. Hi, G.
Hello,
Sarika G.
Bachant ji. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. It's always a pleasure seeing you again and saying hi to you.
Yes, same. It's the feeling is mutual, Bachant ji.
Thank
There
you.
are very
Thank you.
few. Yeah, there are very few platforms which actually are doing the job of true journalism, and yours is one of them. I
Thank you.
mean,
Thank
so this proves that no amount of degree in journalism or whatever it is matters if the intent is strong.
you. Yeah. Yeah.
And no amount of higher the best of the best qualification matters if your intent is not according to the field that you're studying. I'm talking about the mainstream channels which have sold themselves for few money and to the hands of the power. So that's why I have great high regards for your platform. I always keep saying this, yours, Meenaji's, Mitravin, and a few others which are unbiased.
Thank you.
I
Thank
have,
you.
yeah.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you so much. In fact, more than us, you're doing even much more than what we are doing. To be very frank, you could have started up your own channel to talk about this, but for you, your intent is just to get justice and nothing else, which is why you're coming on board to other channels to actually share what you have got in hand. You put it up in Twitter accounts. So, salute to you.
See, Bachchanji, it's not everyone's cup of tea to, manage one's own channel. Okay, I did try. I did open my own channel and I did try to talk in there, but it's very difficult. I mean, hats off to you people, the way you select and filter what topics you want to present to the people. Because once I started my channel, I got many people coming in wanting to give their own interview with their own narrations, and I was not able to make out what is true and what is not. And if I end up presenting something which is not true or which is colored, then I will be doing a grave injustice to people.
Yeah,
So,
nice.
so it's like this movement or whatever change is about to come or real revolution should come as per SSR. We all have different roles to play in that. It should be a teamwork. Like I am digging out the truth. Okay, you people are giving the platform. You are making people aware. You are spreading the truth to many people because every Indian should know the truth for actual change to start happening. It's not just a few thousands of people or lakhs of people knowing. It should be that whatever truths are hidden by the mainstream media and which are coming out from Sushant's drives, which
Mm.
are actually answering a lot of unanswered questions as to why crimes never get solved in India and why there have been so many mysterious deaths in India. So this truth and awareness has to reach every Indian for any positive change to happen in our country.
Exactly. Well said.
Yeah.
The
So you people,
awareness. Yeah. The
yeah. So
awareness. Yeah.
you people have a very big role to play. And
Thank you.
also, I request your viewers also, Bachanji, that not just to watch or view your channel and give comments here, but also if they believe what they are seeing and if they believe that this truth has to reach everyone, then they should also spread the truth to the people around them. Like
Yes.
word of mouth, this truth should spread. This is
Yes.
a people's movement. This is a people's movement. Let us show the powers that if you are not with holistic welfare, we can take care of our own things ourselves.
Correct. For the
Right? Yeah.
justice, for the truth, and as what Diti just mentioned, friends, please pass around this information. Let everybody spread it around. For all you know, those people who probably will be opening up their own social media to voice out the justice for Sushant or anybody who actually got injustice in their life. And Deepti, the recent, I mean, before you came on board, I was just mentioning that lately, I think I told you also that lately I've been hearing news that some YouTubers have been mentioning that CBI have, investigated the case, that they're going to do justice. These news are going to come out soon. I've been hearing in the past few weeks. So I was wondering if CBI have investigated a case, they don't have to, mention that, we have investigated it. They will just come out and they will actually
Give that.
broadcast the news just like how Sachin Wazir's case and Anil Deshmukh case. So,
Exactly. Yes, Bachchanji. See, let us not uh, give too much importance to this hearsay that is coming. Because what I feel is that this might be a trick by the establishment or the system to test how people will receive this if this is a rumor.
okay, okay,
So, I mean, even AIMS has not come up with its report till date. But some rumor was floated. Okay, some rumor was floated that the report will come out as suicide and all. And when there was an outcry, it never came out official. So it's like a cat and mouse game going on because public is too strong and public is even after 1 year it is asking questions about Sushant's case, what's happening. So I think we should not give much importance to these hearsay things unless and until it comes officially from CBI's mouth.
yeah. I mean, in Sushant case, it's so obviously that it's a murder case. I mean, if you followed the news from last year, people would have known that it's clear-cut murder case. So whatever that's going to come out, which is
And how can it be closed? They haven't even responded to my application for
yeah,
validating the
right,
drives that I have. I'm still waiting for a call for them for that meeting. After the
okay.
CBI officer initial call promising me that he will talk to his seniors and get back. So I'm still waiting for that call. So I don't think this is a rumor which has been let out to test if this comes officially from the agency's mouth or something, how will the people react? So let us not give any importance to it, and let us show that we are not willing to accept what they tried to do with Jia Khan's case. We are not willing to accept that in Sushant's case from the beginning itself.
Yeah, correct. So
Jia
Jia
Khan's
Khan,
case, yeah, Bachchanji, Jia Khan's case also, it's not closed.
okay,
Let me. People are saying that it's closed. It's not closed. Okay, the CBI. It was earlier this year. It was fast tracked. We heard a few months ago that it was fast tracked and it was, handed over to the CBI court. It was with the High Court, and CBI was the investigating agency earlier. Later, it was handed over. A few months back, it was handed over to the CBI court to fast track it. Apparently, okay. And the CBI court had rejected both the CBI's application requesting, further examination of the dupatta and retrieving the BlackBerry data using FBI cell. And they also rejected the complainant, Rabia Ji's petition seeking SIT probe
okay.
for the into the lapses in the investigation and the delay in the case coming to
Mhm.
conclusion. Okay, so the CBI court has rejected both. So now it's not that the case is over. There are other remedial measures as well, and Rabia ji has also told me the last time I spoke with her that she is not going to give up this fight. And we should, and people have also started voicing out for Rabia ji now, for Jia Khan. Because any layman, after seeing the pics of Jia Khan's, body after her death, any layman can point out that there are injury marks. And one of the points in the CBI's that the CBI court judgment used is that there are no, there are no signs of struggle. So it indicates that it's a suicide. But there are signs of struggle. There are injury marks below the chin. There are bruise marks on the body.
Okay.
So, I mean, the case is not yet closed. The fight is on. So, I want people to continue voicing out for Jia Khan as well, for Rabia ji as well, and for Sushant as well. It's not yet over. They just want to demoralize us, to break our, zeal for this fight for Sushant's justice by delaying it and leaving out such rumors. So let us see. This time we have to put a strong foot down. No, we are not going to take it. Give us explanation about these questions, and then give the judgment according to that.
Yeah. I'm fully confident this time the public will draw. I mean, it started off with Sushant case. I think people have been tolerating too long. So now they're beginning to voice out. And I hope more voices will surface, and I hope this time it will go the right path in terms of investigation, Deepti ji. Okay,
It
this
should.
is it. So,
It should.
yeah, yeah. So let's dive into the diaries. I mean, all my viewers are waiting for you to read it.
I just wanted to tell one thing to your one regular viewer, Padma James. She always calls me Preeti. I am Deepti. My name is Deepti.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Padma
correct.
ji.
Padmama, yes, yes. One of my, long time loyal follower, I would say. Padmama is Dipti ji. It's not pretty. I mean, though she's pretty, you can call her
No,
pretty, but her name is
no.
Dipti ji.
No.
Okay.
Okay. So, shall I start reading,
Yeah, can.
Bachchan ji?
Sure.
Okay. I'm not going to read from where I left in your last show, because you wanted me to read the newer slides, which I haven't covered in other shows much.
Okay. Can.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, I'm going to read the latest slides that I have decoded. I might have or might not have shared it on Twitter yet, but the latest that I have decoded, I'm going to read today.
Okay.
Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you.
So the continuity will not be there. Continuity will not be there. So let me tell you, Bachanji, I have already covered all the slides wherein the mention of Riya and Shauvik and all his close circle which was with him before his death. Sushant has realized that they were playing fall with him, they were mishandling his accounts, and they were misusing his funds. All that I have already covered.
Okay.
And more than that, he has covered, I think he has made a summary of all the scams that were happening since long,
Okay.
since 1993 or 89. He has covered all the scams. And because when he wanted to investigate into the criminal angle of the Bollywood, wherein it is involved in women trafficking, child trafficking, and money laundering through movies. Okay, and he was also the franchise owner of a sports club, I think, one of the sports. So there also he saw that despite betting and match fixing happening, the authorities were turning a blind eye. So as a common man, he wanted to investigate why all this was happening, and it took him deeper. It took him deeper into all these scams, because the same set of people are behind whatever crimes or scams are happening in this country since past few decades. So, and these people, this same set of people are now at a very high position in the society, very respectable people, some respectable politicians, some respectable businessmen, corporates, and some respectable bureaucrats. So he has summarized it all. Some of them are already available in the public domain, some are not. Okay.
Okay.
So I will start reading now.
Okay.
Okay. So try and understand and also digest this as soon as possible, that the situation in the country is currently at that stage where if something goes wrong, there can be a huge collapse, there can be a potential breakdown, and a situation will come where our national security might get exposed too. I'm not sure what is making me say all this, but my gut feeling strongly says this is on cards, and the day is not far off. For a moment, I feel here I need to make a mention of one thought or assumption of mine that has been disturbing me for quite some time now. There was a public tiff between Advani and Modi ji, where everyone started throwing mud on Modi ji for not respecting a person who got him into politics. Now, after I have gotten to hear about this Hawala story, do you think I would be wrong if I might conclude that Advani has hands in the assassination attempt on Modi ji that was planned, which never could take shape? Time will tell. But this thought has haunted my mind for some time now, and I am not sure how well this will be received. Let me make one point very clear here. I am an individual who has my own brain, and I have all the rights to use my brain and think of every angle and possibility that can actually work in the favor of truth. You are too. So let's be respectful of each other. This is my assumption based on my instinct and gut feeling. So I am forced to strongly think on these grounds. Wrong or right will only come to light when some questions that form out of the essence of the matter are answered. If not, not just this assumption, a lot more assumptions and connections can be made, and this will make the game more dirtier. But if that is the need of the hour, I will work around it and make sure all these questions are asked in the right way without raising any allegation on anyone. But the right for us to know a fact is universal, and no law can deny it. What is needed, what is needed here is the strength in the voice. When the voice makes out the day, a voice makes out changes to voices make their way out happens, we will see changes for sure. The only reason till now no positive development ever happened is because the voices that made out could be counted using fingers. We have to make sure that we become countless. And when this happens, the cabal will be optionless and the system will be helpless. But to hear us out, this is what we have to achieve, and I will make sure that I will go that extra mile if need to make this happen. Because the wise always said, if you believe in yourself and work hard towards it, you can achieve it. And your thoughts play a major role in creating situations for you. If you think you can do it, you definitely can do it, provided you stick to it. You only take positive energies with you, not the negative energies, who will try and pull you down often. What happens is that when something constructive or something new is to happen, no one wants to stand up for it. My simple question to everyone would be, when you do not want to come out of your cocoon, how can you fly? If you have seen the process how a caterpillar transforms into a butterfly on its way out from the cocoon, you will understand why are the struggles required before you come out in flying colors. Till now, we looked up to others to hope to see a change. Why not for once we look up to ourselves and work for that change? We can do it provided we want to do it. We feel the need to do it. We get it from inside that this is what has to be done. If not, I will suffocate till this feeling comes in each of us. There is no point we even expect to see a change. Life will throw challenges onto you. But instead of asking life, why me? Why not we ask this time, try me? The only thing that is needed here is you back yourself up. The world will stand with you. You give up on yourself, the world too will. Whatever you see out in the society is a reflection of what is running in your mind. If you want to see a change in the society, then you will see how pathetic a situation we are in. If you think of anything else, the same will come out in front of you. Because our eyes look to give out those pictures to us which our thoughts are trying to paint. So it is very important for all of us to understand that this is the reality in life. If you want to achieve something, you should make it the breath of your life. That when that is when success will come running behind you. With high hopes and trust in myself and God that this Hawala scam that we are now studying gets us to the right direction and helps us to decode the facts around it. For now, I would like to end this chapter here and move on to the other scams that have created havoc in our country. But before I proceed any further, I would want to make this statement loud and clear. 2024 is not far away. Within the blink of eye, we should be there. But this time, before you press that button, ask this to yourself. By pressing this button, will I be happy for the next 5 years? Will I see some progress and development in my region at least this time? Will my voice be heard? Will I be able to proudly make my points without any fear in my mind? Will we have peace and prosperity in our society? Will the person I elect be accountable for his actions? A long question, but yes, ask yourself this question because if you vote after this, I am sure you will press the right button. It doesn't really matter whom you choose, but choose someone after knowing him. Some mistakes we did in the past were, do not misunderstand or take me wrong over here, just to get Modi ji to power, we pressed BJP even if the local BJP candidate had a huge list of corrupt activities to stand as his portfolio. This time round, let's make sure we select the right man for the job. I do understand Modi ji is our hope, and I will make sure when I meet him, I will convey this to him as well to give it a thought to check on who is getting the ticket from a particular constituency, and also request Modi ji to design a model wherein the ground situation is taken stock of. Everyone who is in power should be made accountable for their actions and words too. I am sure Modi ji will oblige to this, and I hope that this time at least we analyze before we vote and vote for the right person to get the job done. This one decision of ours will architect the foundation of a better society for you and me. The Hawala scandal, if it was investigated properly, then it would have opened up a lot of secrets to the naked eye. But it was not investigated the way it should have. And that, till date, remains one of the main reasons a lot of people who have wished ill for our country are still at helm. Sukram Telecom Equipment Scam, within brackets 1996 telecom scam. This is not that big when compared to the other scams that our history has seen. But this scam too plays a major role. And if you ask me how I could get to learn about this scam or what made me even think about this in the first place, then my answer would be ऊपर अल्लाह नीचे धरती बीच में आहिल का जुनून. Can you make the connection why I was sort of interested? Bachchan ji, I need your help here.
Okay, I couldn't hear her at the last few seconds what she spoke. Can you all hear me? Because I'm confused whether you all can hear me or not. Okay, Charles. Hi, Charles. Hi, Nelson. Hi, Madifa. Hi, Padmama. I think I already said hi to Padmama and the rest of them. Okay, Deepti ji is actually reading her slides. I mean, Sushant's diary. I have to highlight. She's actually reading the current one, which she is reading is not up in a Twitter account. So I would say that this is a first time revelation in this video in this channel where she's covering or reading slides which is not up in a Twitter account. So do follow me through. She'll be back. Something happened. She got exit. Let me just check whether she'll send me any messages. Okay, let's just wait for her. Hi, VB. Hi. I believe all of y'all, for those who don't speak English, this channel, I mean, this video going to be in English, but அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். ஆங்கிலம் தெரிஞ்சிச்சுன்னா தொடர்ந்து கேளுங்க. டிப்டி ஜி வந்து டைரி படிச்சுட்டு இருக்காங்க. Now, lately, there are quite a bit of things that's happening, but nothing is coming on yet. So, ஆரம்பத்தில் கவர் பண்ண அதே ஸ்டாரி தான் இப்போ நான் சொல்கிறேன். சுஷாந்த் கேஸில் வந்து இன்னும் இன்வெஸ்டிகேஷன் முடியல, but some of them are saying that investigation is done, she's going to get justice, but so far, nothing of that sort, because if that is done, then they would have in fact contacted Deepti ji. That's what she actually highlighted when she came on the show. I hope she'll be coming back soon, but she's not up yet. Probably something happened. Uh, yeah, let's just touch on Sushant Singh's case. It have been running like almost like more than a year, and Sushant case, it is a clear case that it is a murder, and using even the Vikas Singh, his family lawyer, have highlighted that the dupatta that he used uh, is is not that strong to in fact kill him, be able to hang himself. There's no damage on the fan. There is his height from the bed to the fan. It's clear cut that he wouldn't have hanged there, and nobody can actually hang and incur that kind of a mark on the neck. So it is a clear strangulation. This is actually confirmed initially by Sudhir Gupta, who's actually AIMS specialist. So coming back to touching on Vaze's case and touching on Paramir case, and Vaze is now newly highlighted that he was instructed by Ani Deshmukh to go after Arnab Goswami. So all these have been pre-planned. When the police are acting on something, this kind of news actually telling us the instruction is actually coming from the upper. Who's up there, who's giving the orders, we do not know. But somehow in this case, we realize that there are orders coming from the top. So in Sushant case, pretty obvious because from day one, the police have been trying to cover up the story. So where is the uh, information or instruction is coming from? So clear cut, it is a murder case. So I think Deepti Ji is not coming in yet. Hi, Dave. Hi, Dave.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm
No
sorry.
problem. No
Yeah.
problem. No problem, Deepti Ji.
Okay. So I will read that again from Sukram Telecom equipment scam.
Okay.
Okay. Just I wanted to say something here, Bachchan ji. Sushant had so much hopes on Modi ji. I hope he doesn't disappoint him. Okay, so many people, you
Dipti ji, when you read that part, I in fact wrote it down to tell you this that Sushant Singh is actually he looks up at Modi ji, look up at him, and he has so much of respect for Modi ji. Yes, go on.
so
Is
I
there?
just, yeah, so it is hurting. I understand that it is hurting the SSRians that Modi ji finds time to wish, to give condolence to Akshay Kumar on his mother's device, but he is not finding time to address the cries of the SSRians or the people's request for justice in Sushant's case since the past 1 year. It's not as if that he doesn't know. So I don't know why, what his priorities are. But yes, respecting Sushant's hope on him, we should at least now address all our energies and channelize all our energies towards PMO. CBI, we tried, it's not responding. I
Yes,
went to CBI Mumbai twice, CBI Delhi twice for a case that they are investigating to examine the evidences that I claim to have. They are taking so much time. So now it's high time that people channelize their energies towards the Prime Minister and
yeah.
ask him to listen to our Man Ki Baat.
Yes, I mean, special request from all of us to Modi ji, PM of India, that Sushant is one person actually look up to him. He's having a lot of hope on the Mr. Modi ji, and such injustice have been done to Sushant. They shut him off. I really hope that Mr. Modi ji will give justice for people who got rid. Such good soul, such intelligent guy who would have contributed a lot to the country. So they just wiped him off. So I hope he really will, uh, you know, allow
And I
justice to be given to.
and I refuse to believe that he is not aware of what is happening on this front. I just hope that he sees it as priority too, and addresses this concern of the people. Because if the citizens of the country are have to come out on roads for justice and have to cry since 1 year for justice of one person, and there is another mother, Rabia Khan, since past
Yeah,
8 to 9 years she is struggling,
yeah,
being harassed and being made to run here and there. If the people of the country, of the nation, are not getting justice, if they have to come out on roads, I mean, if they have to beg for justice, then Modi ji, I don't think whatever progress or whatever name the country is gaining on the global front, it will sustain. So kindly, please, it's a request to you. Sushant had high hopes on you. So it's time that you deliver.
Yes. In fact,
Okay.
Sushant, he wanted to do a lot for India too. You know, he have even written in the diary in the initial time when I read the media, he has so much a dream from India and he want to contribute for the country. You know, such a person have been killed. And I think the Prime Minister should look into this matter seriously. Yeah.
Yes, he should deliver now. If he, I mean, of course, if he is genuinely interested for the betterment of the nation in the truest sense, I agree. It's because of him that India, the brand name of India, has gained a lot on the global stage. But what about the citizens? If you're not able to provide the basic rights like equality of law and justice on time, I don't think any progress can be made in the real sense. Okay, so let me continue.
Okay.
Yeah. So Sukram telecom equipment scam, 1996 telecom scam. This is not that big when compared to the other scams that our history has seen. But this scam too plays a major role. And if you ask me how I could get to learn about this scam or what made me even think about this in the first place, then my answer would be ऊपर अल्लाह नीचे धरती बीच में आहिल का जुनून. Can you make the connection why I was sort of interested? Yes, I agree that the scam happened a long time ago. But when this issue came up to me, the person used the same lines I have mentioned here, in inverted commas. I was a bit confused. Then he said he is making a reference to Arpita Khan, and he used that as a hint for me to understand what he was pointing out to Salman Khan's brother in law, Ayush Sharma, who is the grandson of Pandit Sukram. And he used that phrase as it was in one of the Salman's promo for his movie Sultan. चोर 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 मौसेरे भाई तो सुना था या तो इत्तेफाक ने यहाँ तो इत्तेफाक ने चोर चोर को जीजा साला बना दिया. All thieves are cousin brothers is what I had heard. But here coincidence has made one thief the brother-in-law of another. Though this is sheer coincidence, I would like to make mention of only one thing here, which made me laugh my gut out when Sukram was finally convicted. He played the age card with reasons which sounded so flimsy that I couldn't hold back but laugh out loud. I am 86 years old and have age related issues and have lost my wife too. And the decade long trial has affected my health a lot. If we consider this on humanitarian grounds, we could have given the consideration if this was the only offense, but if the reports the agencies had submitted are to be believed, then the CBI clearly said that Sukram was a habitual offender and had more than one issue to his name. And that's why he should not be let out. The reason I want to make a mention out of this is because the connection to Hyderabad and the other syndicates that run down south from Mumbai have their links attached to this. I shall come to it when I speak about the drugs angle and other angles like human trafficking and animal smuggling, within brackets, import of poisons and other animal byproducts, movement of ivory, tiger skin, and other such activities. Once I am done with these scams that I had gotten to here and we have worked on, this was the route from where the connections actually started, and it flourished. How and what had happened, I will explain it when I take that chapter up, because that chapter in itself is so huge that I am mentally prepared to literally touch the core of the earth and come back when I am going to expose that to the public. The kind of attacks, verbal and social, that I am in for, I am well aware of it and I am prepared for it. But first, I have to finish this episode of my work and conclude it, because I do not want to keep jumping from one topic to another and then come back over again and create any kinds of confusion to anyone whatsoever. Things are best understood when they are kept simple and there is continuity That is what I am going to do. Keep it simple and make sure it is continuous. And then leave it up to you to judge what you want to derive out of it. But the one thing, when I go ahead and explain the connection in a later slide, you will instantly relate to this slide. How this was the foundation stone for stronger contacts in Hyderabad and Himachal Pradesh too. Sukram's family has a strong hold in Himachal Pradesh, and the connection to Hyderabad is directly linked to this case, wherein the company that Sukram favored for the equipments was a Hyderabad based private firm, believed to be a close associate of the then Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, K. Vijay Bhaskar Reddy, whose son now is in the Telugu Desam party, whose founder is N.T. Ramarao. And the entire family had dirty secrets hidden in their closets. The one connection here to get me the minutest of the minute detail with ease would be some of Srideviji's contacts and some others connected around this. However, the essence of the subject would be as simple as this. The connection that was linked to this 1996 telecom scam, though if it was not that big or impactful like the others that make the list, but this scam actually connected the north to the south, and it's under process currently for me to write any further to it. After coming this far, the one thought that has been recurring in my mind every now and then is that this is how these people work. If you want to understand why things are going wrong today, you have to dig into yesterday, but not forget you are living in the present. I can bet on it that if you take a paper, write down each and every incident that has happened, and start digging around it, you will find one link or two where the chain connects to the main parent chain. And when you try to get to the bottom of the issue, you will only end up realizing that each and every incident that has happened in the country is interlinked. And the smaller crimes that have come out or has made news was just a blinder. It's just like putting mud over shit, like animals do once they are done passing stools. Use your own intellect, analyze, and try to connect. Do not hear it out from me, do not take it from me, but God has given you two eyes. See for yourself. God has given you 2 ears. Listen out what the voices have to say. God has given you two hands. Use them to propagate the matter. God has given you one mouth. Speak out to people. God has given you a brain. Think and analyze. If you put even 1% of the effort to see through things, I am sure you will be able to see a lot of things. And I am sure each of us here knows what kind of environment we are living in. And despite that, if you still want to stay silent or quiet, I have nothing more to say. But you are doing injustice to yourself and not anyone and not anyone. This silence of yours that you have worn today will cost you deep, big, and huge one day. And that day, all you will have to do is repent for not making the right decision at the right time. It's very easy to give up, but it's even more easier to stand up. If you have 1,000 reasons to give up, all you need is that one reason for you to fight back. This is the kind of attitude we should possess. We have not lost anything till we tell ourselves we have faults happen. And it does leave some scars on our body, but it only makes us stronger and prepares us better for the future. So it's up to us how we choose our battles and fight them. When you feel this is your fight, then you will not need anyone to guide or support you. You will by default take the lead. And then once you have taken the lead, you yourself will start making the connections. And trust me, things do fall in place. The invisible positive energy is all around you. And all you have to do is start the process. Once you start, like minds will attract to you. And within no time, you for yourself will have a strong team of individuals. And when all these teams come together and form one unit, we will for sure be a superpower. In this case, as well as the connection is again the same. A politician misuses his seat to do undue favors within the circle, and this undue favor creates the mess, which takes up the shape of a scam and shapes up a lot more scams to follow. The judgments and the statement on this case too is documented, and you will find copies of it in the High Court and Supreme Court too. The Hyderabad company belonged to the Hyderabad company belonged to P. Ramarao, and the name of the company has advanced was Advanced Radio Masts, ARM. Now do your homework on this. That's it on this for now, but I will for sure get back to this because this has connection with so many other incidents that have happened and the names that have come out. Now I am yet to verify on them. But this scam, I repeat once again, had been the bridge in which North walked down South, and so many related crimes that could have managed shifted slowly down south. I don't want to comment anything on the geography or give a clean sheet to anyone that before this there was nothing happening. Because for sure, South too had its own issues of scams and trouble. But the one thing that happened after this incident, when the generations after the 1980s are taken into consideration, is crime syndicates started getting centralized and activities happened much faster. A huge list of scams down south, which have connections to the north and east and west too, have been found out. And I will make sure I will write about each one of them so that we have the complete truth in front of us before we decide on the future course of action and how we execute each of our plans and ensure that the truth comes out in the eyes of the public. Once this is done, the only thing we need to do is wait back and see is towards which direction will this head to. Revolution, if we all get together, speak to the authority, put pressure on them and make sure they listen to us, they too cooperate, we get our answers and the systems change. Rebellion, if the authorities turn deaf, then we go ahead with what I would want to call the people's movement towards awakening. Peaceful protests, non cooperation, and lots more. I am sure that the current government in the center will definitely stand with its citizens. But if it doesn't, then we have to take matter into our own hands and without breaking the law, plan certain actions where we can get our desired results. The path is full of obstacles, but is not an impossible one. I totally agree. There will be challenges, but that does not mean that we will give up. We all have to team up and fight this battle together because in all these camps, the names are common and the connections too are. So if we just put that one break, the entire nexus will fall down like a pack of cards. We have to make sure we start from the roots. The pawns have taken enough of the blame. Now it's time for the kings to get a taste of the medicine of truth, and they get their due for the crimes they have made. I cannot say a word about others, but for me, the vessel is full now. It's payback time. And I will make sure I will create that strong platform and voice out for the people who have been victims of any sort of crime, small or big. Doesn't matter to come and join hands with us. As I always say, if we multiply in numbers, these numbers will make the AC dwellers sweat. And when the AC dwellers sweat, our job becomes that much easier. And that's when we can expect actions that will be favorable to us. Since we are now roaming around Hyderabad, the next issue I would be discussing here would be somewhere around this region only, wherein we will get to know another dirty angle, which is again connected to the IPL and had big names like MS Dhoni and Suresh Raina involved in the investment project too. However, yet again, these two did not make much of the news. And since I myself have interacted with MSD, I have some idea around this and can say for sure that this was another one of its kind of a scam which never made its way out in the news, which never made its way out in the news and stayed buried. MSD does not want to comment anything on it or does not want to actually do nothing about it. It's his opinion. But now, when I have gotten to know about this, I will make a mention of it here and will make sure I will work on it too. It all started when N. Srinivasan, the boss of Indian Cements, was called by the ED for his alleged involvement with Jagan Mohan Reddy's companies, from which he was making profits, which could not be explained on paper And when questions were asked to Srinivasan, he did not have any proper answers to it. And when inquiries happened, there was a total different picture that was presented. But if the real inputs from the inquiries are to be believed, then there were a total of 100 plus companies to which Srinivasan was supplying material to. And Jagan Mohan Reddy too was with a different intent altogether when he was working towards this. Now, this different intent is another angle that needs to be worked upon, as I do not have much of idea what this means in this context. But yes, if the chronology of events are to be trusted, then this is very much clear that Srinivasan and Jagmohan and Jagan Mohan had a strong business association. The interesting angle to this story is the appointment of Dhoni as VP of Sales and Marketing by India Cements, and Suresh Raina too has a definite role to play in the India Cements payroll. The question that comes here is that what was the connection here and how this took a different shape as well, which went elsewhere. Let's go stepwise because this is something which is huge and deep and has wings everywhere and is in itself a huge subject altogether. And the way I want to explain it, if I start now, I will not be able to do justice either to this subject or the other subject which I want to take up. Though both incidents are connected, it needs to be explained in a way that the message coming out of it will not confuse anyone. The way Srinivasan was not just connected to Jagan Reddy, but the way he managed the whole show. People who have seen this happen say what was a standout here is that it was a businessman who knew his game well, was at work the way the negotiations happened, and the way the in and out of funds that happened in so many companies, and keeping all this on the tip of the tongue without having any paper or having it sorted anywhere clearly showed that Srinivasan was the man who never took anything lightly. And in one meeting that happened on this, that man, Srinivasan, did say that numbers and figures are to be kept in your mind and not kept it anywhere else. Because when you are not doing the right thing, all the wrong should be in your mind. Writing the wrong things down get you in trouble. Because anything and everything anywhere is legal till you are caught. And this is the fact which everyone should understand. Just thinking out loud, look at the thought process of this man and see the irony that is there in the society everywhere, anywhere. This has been a trend, and this trend is continuing to create problems in the society since eternity. And there has been no effort from anyone whatsoever to do anything on these lines. The suffering which this gets on to people is so intense that there is no way out for the people who get trapped with such people. And Srinivasan was a master at his work and always made sure, till he had all the cards in his hands, he never struck any deal no matter how much ever money was involved. He stood to his stand that till I handle stuff and know what I am doing in and out, I will not do anything that is needed. The only way I will work is when I have all the information with me and I am the decision maker. These were MS Dhoni's words when I tried to ask out a few questions to him on this. And then he said, do not put your head into these matters as the people who are trying to find information are, as the people who you are trying to find information on, if they get the slightest of the hint that you are on this, they will make sure you will be wiped off your existence. I was shocked to hear this, but then what can be done? What MS tried to say was if you have to bow down to one person and then hold your head high in front of the society without compromising on your values, then there is nothing wrong in it. I am associated with him in a legal way, and I am only concerned about what he does. And I am only concerned about what he does otherwise. Why should I worry? The people who should worry, they should give a thought about it, as it is not my job. What I am in for, I make sure I do justice to it and stay true to it. I am not interested in anything else. This was what MS concluded on this chapter and said, this is all I want to say for now on this subject. and would request you to not take this matter up again in front of me. We have been associated for something. Let's just focus on that. I did have a lot of questions, but then I decided that the matter has to be handled with care. I have a golden duck right in front of me who can get me all the information if I handle this the right way. There was one dirty, there was one dirty fight between Jagan and Srinivasan, which actually went to that extent, wherein if the matter was fueled a bit further, it would potentially spell doom for the regional politics in Andhra. And it was Jagan himself who orchestrated that ED raid on Srinivasan to slow him down. And it was made very clear to him during the raid that if he is given the authority to take decisions, that doesn't mean he can take things for granted, and sitting and dictating terms will not be entertained. There is one instance where this can be strongly concluded to is that when the ED team actually came to Srinivasan, the normal procedure of raids was not followed. The body language and the way the raid was conducted, there were some serious doubts in everyone's mind. And the initial report, where points are noted down, was submitted 3 days after the raid. And Srinivasan's signatures too were not taken on the same day. This sounded a little too scripted for me, and it is clearly mentioned in the case files, which were in the ED initially, though this came there by accident. The entries went to court too. But then again, there was no action taken. Only it was a show off that action is happening. I will raise public grievance on each of these topics and make sure that I will bring all these matters out again. And the best time to do it is when election is just round the corner. One sure short way for us to expect any result around this is around the later half of 2022, last half, because I would need that much time to put all this out in the public domain and make the public aware this is happening. And then, if we take the legal steps or raise grievances, we can expect some kind of public support. Because by now, the public would be aware of a lot of things and would be prepared and ready, for, or at least would relate and respond to what is happening around them. Moving further, the setup was planned so beautifully that the investments that were made as if it was rotating deposits, the same rotated from hand to another and another to somewhere else. And the money, the initial funding to this came from the money that was generated from the cement scam, and the people who and the people those who were associated both with Srinivasan and Jagan Mohan were actually deeply linked both centrally and state-wise as well. And many believe this to be one of the strong reasons that despite being involved in the spot fixing scandal and getting banned for 2 years, the management did not change, unlike what happened with Rajasthan Royals, where the management was changed. But CSK still is under India Cements, and no one is really bothered about this or is raising a voice against this. So you see how IPL is a tool that is used for the rotation of black money. If we have our eyes wide open and our ears open too, then the one thing we shall realize is that everything was there right in front of our eyes, but we were blind not to see it. Thus are the connections and the various angles that are established here, where one can see for himself that the entire game that was being played was so interlinked that no one could afford to take action on anyone. And if someone dreamt of any action to be taken, the chords were interlinked. There is another interesting angle to this story. Srinivasan played a double game here when the Andhra split happened. He, on one side, was hand in glove with Jagan, and on the other side, he was well connected with N. Chandrababu Naidu as well. For the Amravati project, Amravati Smart City project, it is believed that in order to slow Jagan down, and when the project was proposed and it got approved as well, and funds started coming in from all angles, a dirty game was played. Jagan was increasingly getting more and more popular, and the TDP was very sure that there was a possibility of them getting wiped off in the by elections, so that had to do something and do something real quick in order to make sure that Jagan was in trouble. And this is the plan they devised with the help of Uma Maheshwar Rao, popularly known as Uma, and got the bridge to get connected with Srinivasan and try and put pressure from Srinivasan's side to come on a common ground, using Srinivasan as the bait to strike out a deal with Jagan to ensure that the biased interests these people had could see the end of the tunnel. If the people whom I have interacted with are to be believed, what they say is that Jagan is a lot better when compared to the other leaders. His actions that he did for the sake of the people were top notch, and he was well respected by the people. Apart from a little communal angle to his approach, he was much better when compared to the other leaders in the state. He was the man of the moment at that time. The work in his constituency that he has done during his tenure, and the first hit he had to break down his speed. And the first hit he had to break down his speed was his arrest by the CBI on embezzlement charges. Now, there are two theories to this issue as well, and these two issues are very important to be considered before we proceed any further. So, let's understand the two issues before we proceed further in this case. This was done just to ensure that he doesn't roam around free when the plan to split Andhra Pradesh into two states, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Jagan was one of the front runners who was always against the policy of dividing Andhra state. And despite being in jail, he started a hunger strike to challenge the UPA decision of two states. Now, another interesting angle here to stand, a word for what I am guessing out is that there were other ministers too who were on the radar for similar charges, but CBI had shown extra interest in Jagan. I use the word guessing here is because though I know what the whole incident is, I need to be double sure, and I can only be double sure once I lay my hands on some things that are due to reach me. Jagan was gaining more and more popularity, and this was pricking everyone. There was some sort of a plan behind this, which was kept under wraps. And there is a lot of confusion to date. What is the exact chain of events that actually happened with too many stories to it? And every single story looks to be true. The second reason is the fallout with Congress had made sure that Jagan would start a new party of his. And in the initial days of the party formation, if Jagan is behind bars, the party would not be able to function to its full potential because there would be a divide in votes. So some say it was a trick to ensure the vote bank was safe. And this unnecessary division would not affect the votes and give Jagan the advantage. These are the two other reasons that were found to make sense with the one that the CBI gave to have him arrested, and the only reason for me to give it a thought is that around the same time similar cases were running on ministers of other states too, and the same CBI was investigating on those states too. But here, why Jagan was held by his neck when there were other cases which the CBI was investigating just before Jagan? See, I am not taking any sides here, but the only interest that I am pursuing this is to show the people of my country how these things are so closely interlinked and what are the different ways in which these games are played. And also, this issue that we are discussing now was the bridge, how crime got centralized. All this had to be put in because the connection it has to so many scams in the country and a cash rich league, which is a disguise for so many anti social activities that is happening in our society, has to be stopped. And if this has to be stopped, every single angle that can be established or dug into has to be touched. And I do not mind if I have to write pages together describing all this over and over and over again. My only problem is with the wrongdoing these people are involved in, with no personal enmity whatsoever. Some people in Andhra Pradesh strongly believe that Jagan Reddy getting elected as Chief Minister for this term was a blessing in disguise. Because if the government before that would have continued to be in power, then the entire state of Andhra would have so many problems. When some government activity would be the schedule of the day, there was a proposal of making Amravati a smart city. and also the capital of Andhra Pradesh state. And if we take the opinion of geographers on this, they too feel it would have actually been a blunder. Not that I am putting things out just because I want, but this was another huge scam in the making, which did not materialize just because the project was dropped. Just because the project was dropped, else there would be economic impact of various degrees that the state of Andhra would have to go through. Srinivasan had a definite role to play in this too, and was the mastermind to bring investors from Singapore, and then the partnership was formed, Amravati Development Partners Limited (ADP), and the two partners were Amravati Development Corporation Limited, owned by Andhra Pradesh State, and Singapore Amravati Investment Holdings Private Limited (SAIH). This, according to the study made back then, was an attempt to make huge sums of money in quick time by giving out schemes and creating the need for this to happen so that a lot of money rotation can happen. Plots and sites were being sold with a future plan to attract investors, that tomorrow, when it becomes the capital city of Andhra Pradesh, you shall get 10 times the value of your investment. As soon as Jagan's government came to power, the first thing he did was to put brakes on this and ordered for the demolition of various structures that were built or on the verge of construction since the time of Chandrababu Naidu government. And the World Bank, which initially was showing interest to give out funds for the project, backed off, though some say the timeline of events were different. There is yet another interesting angle to be added to this incident here. Insiders in the YSR party believe that Jagan had prepared a report and submitted it to the World Bank to stop the funding, as he felt that whatever was quoted and the return of investment that was promised was far, far away from reality. And such a project would give rise to a scam of entire different level, as the plan was, if the possibilities of failure were even close to be seen, then the funds that the government earns for the temples and other establishments that were in the state would be diverted this side. I am sorry, but I have to say this here too. There are two angles to this incident as well. One, the first being that Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy was a practicing Christian and he always favored Christianity. There were people in his own family who practiced evangelism, proselytism, as Jagan's brother-in-law M. Anil Kumar is an evangelist and the founder of Anil World Evangelism. Despite having the public image of differences between the brother and sister that led to the formation of YSR Telangana Party on the grounds that YSR Congress was not that famous in the state, many feel this is just a gimmick because Sharmila Reddy had herself undertaken a 3,000-kilometer walk covering 14 districts to promote the YSR Congress. This is just another angle to the story, but many find and feel it to be true considering the bond the family shares outside the parliament. The Anil world of evangelism is believed to be funded by the state treasury is one part of the story. The second part is that Jagan felt there were other issues that needed to be addressed, and Andhra state never was in a need of a new capital. We first need to address these issues. As soon as his party came to power, he cut down the funds that were going into the Amravati project and got the money that was being pumped into Amravati to mere 500 crores. And then he started moving out key government offices that had started to function here to Kurnool and Vizag, as he felt these were better approachable places, and he also went ahead to give out a strong statement that there is no plans towards Amravati in the near future and the project would remain suspended for a very long time. This had invited protests, and this incident stands as an example for one of those very rare instances where BJP and Congress find themselves on the same side of the team. I have my own observations here, which I will get to it at the end of the chapter and ensure I pen it down too. These are the two sides of this chapter, and the angle that was very predominantly and the angle that was very prominently visible from the very beginning since Jagan's party came into power. Srinivasan's role in this was huge, and many believe the appointment of MS Dhoni and the secret appointments of Suresh Raina, Ravi Ashwin was in order to use the three as promoters for this project. It did not really materialize, it did not really materialize when the project was got shelved. And if you watch it closely, that around this time, when the project was beginning to take shape, there was an allegation of CSK to be involved in spot fixing, and they were banned for 2 years. But when CSK came back, it was only Ashwin who was let aside. If some feel that this was a strategic decision, then let me remind you when CSK came back, neither was Jadeja in the best of forms, nor was Suresh Raina. There is something that has created the fallout. What is it is yet to be explored. Anyways, for now, there are too many other things to add on to this, so we can actually keep this angle aside for now. Many from the administration of the BCCI and also otherwise believe that it was this closeness that Srinivasan had with Naidu and Jagan being one of the main reasons Chennai could make its way back into the IPL with the same management. If you do not want to believe me, go do your own homework. BJP and Congress from the National Front were very much interested in this project, as if the project would have materialized, everyone could mint. And yet again, though I do not want to take that name here, the foundation stone for the city was laid by Narendra Modi ji. Can be anything too soon to conclude, and the foundation stone for the High Court of Andhra Pradesh was laid by the then Honorable Chief Justice of India, Sri Ranjan Gogoi. See, when you see at it from a detached angle, the point that can be made is that it was the office and not the person who laid the foundation stone. So there cannot be made any comments here if the people who laid the foundation stone were hand in glove with it or not. But the one thing that is the fact is that the ongoing protests in Amravati and has strong backing from the BJP party along with a lot others who are quite vocal in support of the same. The party lists those who are standing in solidarity with the people who are protesting. The list includes Amravati Parikishana Samiti, Andhra Pradesh JAC Union, farmers of Guntur and Krishna districts, Amravati Mahila JAC Union, Raitu Akya Karyacharana Samiti, Rajdhani Raitu Parirakshana Samiti, Students Federation of India, Students Federation of India, Telugu, Telugu Nadu Students Federation, Andhra Pradesh Mahila Congress, Telugu Mahila, Telugu Desam Party female wing. The above list of the people who are protesting, and they have a lot of citizens of Andhra and a lot of NRI groups who are joining in large numbers to the protest sites. The parties which are supporting these protests include Telugu Desam Party, Jan Sena Party, BJP, Congress, CPI, CPIM, Telugu Association of North America, Lorry Owners Association of Krishna District. There were a lot of chaos that happened around Krishna district where lorries had denied on transport and there was chaos everywhere. It too a section 144 to put things back on track. Bar Association of Krishna and Bar Association of Guntur. So many things that come into the picture here, and there are so many questions that come into the picture, with the standout being the involvement of Bar Council in this. Can it happen? I'm not sure at this point here when I am writing this. But the one thing that becomes very important here is that two political giants are on the same side as a common man. What would be the image this shows? Does this mean that this is done to make the common man feel that there is nothing in it? This is what they wanted to achieve. But are we fools not to see through it? I do not mind if I have to drop writing this over and over and over again. I have nothing against anyone, and I am only trying to keep the facts out as and how they are unfolded, and my only intention is to get the truth out and nothing else. It's not the people or the parties that I have problem with. I am having problem with is the way these people operate. No matter you are a hero for everyone. If you are wrong, then you are wrong. For me, no matter whoever you are and or whatever position you hold in the society. It's not you that I have a problem, but if your activities have a reverse impact on the society, then I will be the first person to stand against you. There needs to be that revolution. I am so very irritated to be writing this here that this is the same pattern that has been followed for years and we are still falling prey to it. Arise, awake, and make sure we have to now strike back. Because even now, if we prefer to remain silent, then there is no way we are going to gain anything. See the connections of how this nexus around the criminals, the politicians, the businessmen, and the bureaucrats are creating in the country, and how many impacts that is happening in the country are so directly connected to each other. People of India, are you this dumb? Why are you not able to see through it? When it's quite clear that all this is so deeply connected, what is making you to stay silent or quiet on the issue? Is this your country? Is it not? Are you stealing from somewhere to pay your taxes? No, right? Then for what good reason are you silent? Realize if we become one, there would be no one who could even dream of putting a full stop to our progress. The matter that remains unanswered here is what do we do to become one? And this is the only question which I have to seek answers to the situation and this is the only question which I have to seek answers to. The situation is bad and it will soon turn worse. Come on, let's join hands and be one just for once. Let's keep all our differences aside just for this once and think about our country. Above all, we have it in us to do it. It's just that we need to plan it out. If we fail, we can still get up and fight, but we have to try. Bachchanji, I have only, I mean, these are the slides which I haven't even shared on the social media. I will share them in the coming days. So since you
Okay.
wanted the latest slides to be read, so I have read it here.
Yeah, okay. So this is the latest encrypted, and yes, friends, it is not up in the Twitter account. Miss
Yes,
Deepti
and
actually will.
also I want to repeat that I am not decoding the drives in chronological order. Okay, because though he has numbered the drives 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but that is not in order as well. He's such a
Okay.
genius that by just by looking at the serial number, you cannot guess if it is in sequence. Because the earlier slides that I decoded and shared, they were close to the time when he was killed.
Okay.
These drives, Sushant has started writing from 2018 onwards. He started writing then, and I think from whatever I shared on till now, he was writing it till after Disha's death as well.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so it's not just he has written it in 6 months or 6 days or something like that. He has been writing it since 2018.
That's about two years, you know.
Yeah, two
But
years, 2 to 3 years of work. Before that, if we remember, he had mentioned in one of his slides that he started documenting it this way in the form of drives after his diaries and other documents got destroyed and burnt. Though he
was
didn't
that
mention, yeah, he had written it on one of the slides. He had written this in one of the slides that he started documenting all this in this way,
okay?
in the
When
form
he
of the drives which cannot be destroyed, which cannot be edited, which cannot be deleted, or which cannot be modified. He has, I mean, this entire, there are, as I have been saying, there are other copies of 6 to 7 other copies of the drives out there. Okay,
okay,
and all of these drives are interconnected. Okay,
okay,
so though the others who have the drives, they have the parent link, the main link is just with his core team. Okay, and his core team members, other members who are alive, they are playing fall. I don't know. I think they have, their actions seem to be saying that they have joined hands with the culprits. who were involved
Mm.
in Sushant's mother, Sushant's death. So they have been creating problems because it's the same link which is with them as well, right? So
Okay.
they have been creating problems so that I cannot access them or it gets destroyed. They have tried to edit, but one thing they keep forgetting is that Sushant has designed this in such a way that if anyone tries to add even a comma or a full stop, all the connected systems to the drives, they go into a standby mode.
Okay. Very intelligent.
Very, very intelligent. That's how, I mean, see, he was trapped in the end. Otherwise, such an intelligent guy, if he was not trapped badly, or if he was not betrayed by someone whom he trusted a lot as a
Mm.
backup, if they had not betrayed him, I don't think such an intelligent guy it would have been easy to trap him and kill him.
Exactly. Because his housemate are also, playing behind his back. They are also sabotaging him. So that could be another reason why he couldn't get out of the situation, or he was caught doing whatever they was doing. I guess so, like, Siddharth Pitani and Riya Chakravarti and all that. You did
See, there
mention that.
are there are n number of chemicals out there and toxins out there. I mean, you can if they are administered to a person, if they are given orally or whatsoever, you can take control of the brain or make them zombie like. Are you getting me?
Yes.
There are many drugs out there which can induce a heart attack as well.
Mm,
So there are many
correct.
toxins out there as well which can take control of the brain and make that person zombie-like. Or there are many drugs out there wherein a person, if once he is given it, if he takes it without his knowledge as well, let's say his drinks or food is spiked. If the
Okay.
person takes it, then they are not aware of what they are doing and they don't remember. So it is very easy to get someone trapped when the entire, I mean, the people living in the house are a plant.
Yes.
Are you getting me?
Yes. In fact, his cook, I mean the
Everyone
helper.
from his cook,
Yes.
everyone from his cook to whoever was there in his house at that time, Siddharth
Yeah.
Pitani, Riya Chakravarti, and Shauvik, and
Yeah.
Sandeep Singh, they and Dino Morio. So
Mm.
they all played fall with him. They all acted as if, I mean, they were his team. Okay, so they were, and he came to know that these people were playing fall, that these people were planted much, much, much later when it was too late.
Mm.
So that was
I.
when he, yeah, if we remember, that was when he decided to individually test everyone, throwing
Mm.
questions as to see who was honest and who was not. That's when he, to test Ria, he let out without even planning, saying that he is planning a press conference soon to bring out the
Ah,
truth about Jia Khan's death, to see
yes.
what will happen next. And the next what happened was Ria informs Mahesh Bhatt. Mahesh Bhatt calls him for a meeting, okay, to give more information. And then at the same time, he gets a call from the Kwan guy
Mm.
asking him to come to a meeting there where he's beaten up in the presence of Salman Khan, and I had taken the names as well. I'm not, I'm forgetting now. Salman Khan, and there were a lot of other names in front of whom he was beaten up and was left with a threat that this was just a trailer, and if he doesn't stop digging into what, continuing, he doesn't stop doing what he is doing. I mean, digging into people's crimes and all, then he will soon see the clear picture. That was what the threat was given to him, and he was let out.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Really, really sad.
So, is this not an evidence pointing towards the fact that Sushant was threatened, his life was in danger? So, you cannot simply say that this is a suicide. You have to investigate this as a homicide.
You see, the part that was beaten up from Kwan, that could have been just before. I think after that warning, probably he must have been murdered. But I do believe that most of the information that would have been came out by Ria Chakravarti, who's actually just by his side until he got rid of her on the 8th of June.
I'm not actually sure of the chain, how the chain of events happened. I just know whatever is regarding Sushant. I just know whatever he has mentioned in his drives.
Okay.
Other narratives and everything, I'm not even following because I'm not getting the time to. Who is spreading what narrative and all. Okay. But one thing is sure that we cannot actually start to look into this matter trusting Ria's or Siddharth Pitani's words when their own statements are conflicting the facts,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because there are some YouTubers who say that Siddharth Pitani told that the hard drives were destroyed, the
Yeah.
drives were destroyed. Then Siddharth Pitani also told that he was the one who saw Sushant hanging, right?
Yeah.
So these are planted people. You cannot just try and build your research based on what statements these people give.
Correct. Correct. Like another example, they say that she left on the 8th of June, but then there's another theory saying that she was with him the night before he died. So there's so many narratives, so we do not know what has actually happened the week before he died. But PTC, there's one slide actually. You told me one diary that you have read before or you have encrypted where he highlighted about Siddharth Pitani, Shovik, and Ria Chakravarti. Is there anything in particular that you want to actually bring up from that diary that you encrypted?
No, I mean, he has, I mean, since he has written these drives over a period of time, so at one point of time, he has written that Sarah, about what Ankita did to him, he could forget.
Yeah,
Sarah never really happened
correct.
because she was just a
Correct.
co-star, and before even something like a friendship could develop, okay, he could know about her through this thing because he was discussing about Jia Khan's case or something in front of her when the shooting was going on for Kedarnath, and thinking that she is harmless. And the next instance, what happened was that Saif Khan came, uh, totally angry on him, asking him why he was digging into matters which had no
Hmm.
connection to him.
Okay.
Okay, so whatever was told in the media that they both had an affair, Sarah and Sushant. So Sushant has made it clear that he was just trying to initially protect her because she was a newcomer, and he thought that she was innocent, and she was always portraying to be, to be depressed. So he was trying to just help her as a co-star, and that has been portrayed outside by the media or by whoever has let it out that he was having an affair with both were having an affair,
Hmm.
Sarah and.
Hmm.
So Sushant makes it clear in his drives that she was just a co-star, and even before anything like friendship could develop, he came to know about her true colors, and initially he was just trying to protect her as she was a newcomer. Okay, so after that he also says in the slide that I think Ria is also not true and honest. I have to be very clear. So after some slides, he then mentions after he comes to know about what happened with Sridevi ji, like in during her time when she wanted to expose and all her devices were, they were
Yeah.
taken control of by Boni Kapoor. She didn't have access to her devices or social media accounts. She was isolated. She was not allowed to communicate with the outside world.
Hmm.
Okay. So she was
Okay.
totally controlled, and all the people who were around her were there to keep an eye on her. Okay. So
Okay.
that's when he came to know about this, about Sri Deviji, that's when Sushant got the idea that maybe this is what was happening to him
Hmm.
as well. That's why
Correct.
his plans were failing.
Okay.
Maybe his inner circle too, because he then uh, goes back and connects the dots that after Ria comes, the entire house staff is changed, and
Hmm.
all other people of his are also changed as well. Okay.
Correct.
So then he makes the connections, and then he goes about testing each and every one of the people whom he was trusting, thinking that they were his team. So you can see how much of infos, why his plans were not successful. This
Correct.
guy, Sushant, he was far too intelligent and far too capable to actually achieve what he was out to do. But he was surrounded by all vultures and wolves around.
Correct.
He was betrayed big time. So that's how, I mean, we lost such a pure soul and a gem of a person who could have done, you could have done a lot for the country and its
Correct.
people.
True. In fact, I mean, looking at intelligence, if he would have known way before that, he could shouldn't trust the people around him, like his, housemates and Ria. I think he could have succeeded in what he wanted to do, being alive now. That's
See,
the
we
part.
all say that beings. I read most of the comments which say that he was such an intelligent person. How could he not see through Ria? How could he not see? See, it is now sitting here as a third person and looking at the things, we can say that. But when you are inside that situation, just imagine that you are trying to expose something, and your family is not aware of it. Okay, but you have around people who are continuously saying that this has to be exposed. We don't know with what intention or what faces they were portraying in front of Sushant to
Correct.
gain his confidence. The faces that we are seeing of Ria and Shravik and all his close stuff, though that was not the face which Sushant saw, because they kept a totally different face in front of him because they had some other purpose to achieve from him. We can see,
Exactly.
but when you are amidst that, it gets difficult, very difficult to see through the people who actually, I mean, every time they're out there to just gain your confidence and keep acting that they are with you. I have faced this because
Okay.
since 2018, 26 November, since I took up Srideviji's case, we too have been betrayed. We
Okay.
have been betrayed. We changed 3 to 4 lawyers. We have been betrayed by the lawyers, and even our team members, some of them got sold. Initially, those who were working with us, they got sold.
Mm-hmm.
So these things keep happening. So, and unless and until you are into that situation, you simply cannot say that how can such an intelligent person be fooled by the likes of Ria and all.
Correct. True.
Right.
Yeah. But even for that matter, Ria, you would have seen her in the interview, the way she gives the interview. Anybody who have not known this news or not known about Sushant Singh, they would believe her. You know, the way she speak and
Exactly.
she,
See, it's after
yes,
it's after his death that now we are seeing. We are seeing in
yeah,
such light that now whatever she says, she cannot fool the people now.
correct, correct.
And look what is happening. I mean, she is the most desirable face.
Yeah,
She is the being given
in Big
astronomical
Boss.
sum for Big Boss.
Mm,
Salman Khan, Big Boss. Why did
yeah,
she did her job perfectly? Is it
and
the are all these perks being given to her for having done her job properly as a plant in Sushant's life?
the funny part is she uh she declined the offer of Big Boss giving 35 lakhs weekly because she has some new offers from the south and from some movies. And the director himself, I mean the director of the movie where Amitabh Bachchan acted, he said, no, she's at one moment she's a bad woman, but at the next moment she's the most desirable woman. So it doesn't matter what the public have to say about her. So I mean, pretty when we read this kind of news, it's like, come on, I know you're smart. That doesn't mean I'm very stupid listening to reading such kind of articles. Certain things, certain truth are just staring at us.
Yes, they
Just
are
we
staring
know
at
that.
us, but the thing is that over the years, our mind has been conditioned to believe others who are in better position in the society, in this malfunctioning society. We believe their words more than what our gut instinct says, what
Correct.
our intuition says. We are never encouraged to listen to what ourself is asking. Bachanji, I just have to say that we are the biggest mistake that is happening, and why the characters and the character of the humanity as a whole is declining, is because we are taught all kind of management. We are taught all
Mm.
kinds of management. Okay, we
Okay.
can manage all resources, we can manage everything. We are taught how to manage, but we are not taught how to manage our mind, which is the most important thing.
Right.
That should be taught. I mean, you are being conditioned, your mind has been conditioned to follow what is being shown to you and told to you like a herd of sheep. We are even okay to be a herd of sheep if what is being shown to us and what is being told to us is right and not wrong. If the people who want to control us are controlling us but doing good for us, we are not concerned how much money they are making or how many profits they are making. You are more than welcome to make as many profits as you want, but make profits taking our welfare into account. Not everyone is ambitious. Not everyone says that I want to be Ambani or something. People are happy if they have something more than their needs, comfortable, their family, and their people around. Okay, we are happy to be sheep even, provided, mm, provided the stick or the hand which is holding the stick, which is heralding us. Okay, that is right. That is someone whom we can look up to. Not weak like these people who
Yes.
actually, I mean, who are so poor and so hungry that they keep wanting more and more and more. I mean, there are such inferior beings inside. There are such inferior beings inside that they want to have materialistic things in their position to show their superiority. So I just want everyone to, I mean, decide for themselves if they want to be continue being a herd of sheep, wherein they have no control or no say, even if they are being taken towards the doom, or if they want to say no, it's enough.
But Deepti, those people, for those where material stuff or money is happiness for them, these are people who never get satisfied in their life. They keep craving and craving and craving. The word satisfaction will never be in their dictionary. So that's what's happening now. The greed is getting higher and higher and higher, and I will never be satisfied. So in that process, I don't mind doing anything. Be it, getting rid of somebody's life, be it doing any harm to anybody. They just don't mind. It's because of the greed.
Though I just recall this one talk I had recently with someone high up in the authority. I am not permitted to take the name. Regarding Sushant. Okay, I just said that Sushant has high regards for you and has been praising you like anything from the drive. So, uh, don't you think that his case should at least be solved sooner, or they should get justice? And the answer I get is that uh, see, people who get emotional or have emotions attached to it, they keep suffering. And people who play with emotions are the ones who rise to the top and rule. And I am enjoying my position where I am ruling now.
Is it? Okay.
So this is the kind of attitude that our lawmakers have, the people sitting on our head have.
Mm. Mm. Yep. But everybody have to answer one day for whatever deed they have done. That I strongly
No,
believe.
if we want to stay quiet and give a very glorifying reason for our silence, then we can say yes. If the justice doesn't happen here, it will happen in another sphere. God will take care. They will face their karma. If not in this life, in the next birth. See, these are all good to be in the what preachings and all, but
Mm.
practically when they have done crime in this society, in this birth, in this place, ideally for the sake of society, let us not become spiritual here, because we have been too spiritual and we have been too tolerating. That's why,
Yep.
despite being a golden bird at one point of time, people from outside, invaders. They kept attacking our country again and again. Okay, it's not that we keep blaming that the foreigners have looted us. The blame is on us. We allowed ourselves to be looted. Even today, if we are in this situation, the reason is us. Till we do not allow, till we do not allow anyone, a handful of people, we are in majority, the common man is in majority, a handful of people with vested interests are controlling us, and we are crying, we are helpless, what to do, what to do. Isn't it a shame?
Yeah.
I mean, are we so weak and so helpless? I don't think so. We just don't have that confidence within us, and we just don't have that unity within us. Anything comes, if anyone comes and says this party, that party, people start. They forget the real motive of SSR justice. They start divisions in the name of political parties, divisions in the name of channels, TV channels. This channel is supporting the fight. This channel is not supporting the fight. Okay. Divisions in the name of, what do you say, various YouTube channels and warriors, various groups, various gangs. We are so gullible that we can get diverted easily and get diverted from the main motive. Main motive is Sushant's justice, right? We are so gullible that it is easy to divert us and divide us. That's why this is the reason that the attacks have been happening continuously, and they could manage to loot our country. We were not able to guard our country. We were not able to protect it. So fault lies with us. So even today, if we don't stand up and continue to remain the same, I am good. If someone comes and does bad, they will face their karma. If you want to go on that philosophy, ultimately only that philosophy will remain in the end, not the people. That's all I have to say, Bachanji. I have,
Correct.
oh my God, yeah, it's already 1.5.
Yeah, yeah. But okay, I mean, it's already like 1.5 hours. Deepti ji, before you leave, just one last question. How much of the drive have you encrypted? Is about, am I right to say about 50%?
50%, 1, 2, 3, 50, not even 50%, I think 45%, something
Wow.
40 to
Out of
45%.
40 to 45%, so much of information, so much of revelation.
Yes,
Yes,
seriously. I mean, I don't know what
so
else
many
is
names.
there, because he says that he has many more scams, he has covered many more scams and all. But
Yeah.
after I finish this drive, I will go back to, I will try and go back to the drive which was the latest, so that we can get an idea as to what happened right around his death, just before or after his death. Okay, it's a
Okay.
different matter. See, let us not get diverted with the fact that the family is not coming forward. Let us not get diverted with the fact, we are even diverted saying someone who is raising a finger on the family, someone who is uh, supporting the family. Even the division is there on this. See,
Yeah.
respect difference of
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
Do not get diverted from the motive. Anything which diverts you from the motive, which is a disturbance to the unity needed for, the SSR's justice, you should actually stay away from it.
Yeah.
If you have come together on social media and formed groups saying that you are SSR warriors, there are many different groups, right? SSR warriors and all. Okay.
Yes. Correct.
So there are so many people out there with different narratives to confuse people as well. So how can people know? And mainstream media is has sold its soul, as I'm saying. So it is silent and mum on matters that matter, and showing things like how loyal Raj Kundra's driver is after he is released from jail. He is so loyal, blah 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 blah, and all that. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
mainstream media is covering all that nonsense. Okay,
Yeah.
so in that situation, if I understand that it is very easy for a person who genuinely is interested in Sushant's justice, but is unable to make out whom to follow, because one person is defaming the other person is pulling down other. So they have made it a circus. The entire moment, they have made it a circus. So people can use their common sense. Anything, anyone, if he is deviating from what should be done to ensure that Sushant gets justice, what is the way? The only way is that CBI should come out with updates, and not just the same update which they came twice, last year and this year, that all angles are open. CBI is investigating. It
Yeah.
has to give a decisive, a concrete update, and we should work towards that. Is the only thing which should unite everyone. Narratives, everything fine. Different people saying different stories. They are being detectives themselves and decoding many things and everything. That is a different thing. Okay, but is it ultimately taking you one step closer towards justice for Sushant, or is it just time pass?
Correct.
People, analyze it for yourself. You can very well.
You know, the extent where the Antilla bomb threat, the extent the case was investigated and the speed it went, and today they have, disclosed who's the culprit and all that. I didn't see the speed for Sushant's matter. I did not see the
No,
speed in
who is
Sri
the
Devi's
culprit?
matter.
I don't know. I don't know, Bachanji. Who is the culprit in that
I,
Antilla
I wouldn't
case?
I wouldn't know who's the culprit now, but they as of later they're saying that Sachin Vaze is suspected to be the murderer, and Pradeep Sharma has involvement in it, and Parambir Singh's involvement in it, where he's has gone missing now. He's fled the country, I guess. But
Involvement in what? Involvement in what?
involvement in the what I'm trying to say is the bomb was planted outside the one of the richest person in the world, but this is just a made up thingy where they want to get fame, covering up the story like Sachin Vazi. But what I'm trying to say is such investigation went at a very high speed. They start
It went.
disclosing a lot of things, but when it comes to Jiaka, when it comes to Sushant Singh, when it comes to Sri Devi, everything is actually like stuck there. It's not moving at all. That's the part I'm
That
saying.
investigation, yeah, investigation made a lot of noise in the media, with the diver posing for the name media with the uh, number plate, and lot of circus that happened after that. But what I want to know is that what is the conclusion of that, all that investigation? What came out from those drives that were recovered from Mithi River? What happened exactly?
Yeah.
You mean to say you want us to believe this silly reason that Wazer wanted to reclaim his lost gold glory and planted the this outside his planted
Yeah.
the explosives outside Ambani's house to become a hero? I mean, I mean, this sounds so ridiculous to even hear. And if the
Correct.
agencies are okay with this reason, I don't understand. I really don't understand. Where, I mean, what is the conclusion of even that? Is there any logical conclusion to that Antilla case as well? No, but it made a lot of noise.
Yeah.
And I think that was to divert the attention from Sushant's case.
I think so too. Yeah. True.
Nothing is happening. What is happening? Sachin Vaje arrested. Okay, Sachin Vaje arrested. They are saying he is arrested. Okay, we are not seeing his arrest, if he is arrested, or if he is kept in some guest house with luxuries. We don't know. We are being told that he is arrested. Okay, but then what? What statements did he give? Who was arrested on basis of that? What happened to Anil Deshmukh? What happened to the other names that he took? What are you doing about?
Mm.
Where is Paramveer Singh now?
Yeah.
You mean to say that you are so useless enough that even after the names have come out, people can easily use their passport and book a ticket and fly from the country?
Exactly. Exactly. How can they actually feel the country when they're actually in the wanted list?
Then that raises a question on our national security. I mean, if people on whom I mean investigations have started, who are on the summons list of or the watch list of the agencies, huh? If they can easily fly out of the country, does it not raise a big question mark on how secure we are as citizens inside our country, and what is the Ministry of External Affairs doing? if he is not able to catch them from fleeing the country in time, it's not as if that before the investigations have started, they have predicted and they have left the country. No, they are being given enough time after their names have come out. So, does this not raise questions on our capacity, on our governments or the Ministry of External Affairs capability to safeguard our country, who is coming in, who is going out?
Yeah.
So these are the questions we need to keep asking.
Well, I do not know what to say. You know.
If there are no answers coming, then we should not keep quiet. We
Yeah.
should keep asking. See, today, if we are paying such high fuel prices, such high LPG rates, all this is the indirect result of all these scams. Money being eaten away, our taxes, right?
Yeah.
This is the hard-earned money of our taxes. These are being eaten away by few people. They are going into the pockets of few people, and we are left with more and more burden. It's we who are actually, so as Sushant has asked, if you are okay with it, that despite being the ones who are generating the taxes and all, we are the one who are being taken for a ride, and we are the one who are taking the burden of their crimes with our money.
Yeah. True.
So if this doesn't shake you or shake you into action or shake you into even thinking deeply about it, because everything begins with a thought. So even after if after this show is over, you go ahead and then switch over to Netflix and start watching some Bollywood movie and again forget all about it, then fine. Worse days are in store. We are doing our duty. You are doing your duty, Bachchanji. I am doing my duty of, putting forward the truth in front of the public, whatever I have come across. Now, are the people for whom Sushant sacrificed his life, for whom all those others, Sri Devi ji and Divya Bharti, all those others sacrificed their lives for, are we not, don't we want good for ourselves? If we don't want, if we want to continue to stay this way, then it's okay, fine. I don't know what else to say.
This friend, I mean, this viewer have written, Air India is also sold.
I don't know. I wouldn't like to comment
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
it. Air India is also sold in the sense what happened was that, see, initially Air India was started by Tata's only. It was founded by Tata's only. Okay, so later it was taken over by the government, and when it was taken over by the government, a very profitable venture turned into loss-making one over the decades. When it was under government's this thing. So they have not been able to manage, and they have, ended up in making losses. They were not able to run. So they decided to auction it and again sell it to private. So again, now see the coincidence. The ones who started it, I don't know if the news is not officially, or the news is not out yet officially, but it's everywhere in the media that Tatas have won the bid for the Air India. So the people
Okay.
who founded it, it has gone back into their hands itself. So I think it's a good thing. If it has happened, then it's a good thing, because again, it will start making, it will be run efficiently, and it will start making money
Yes.
for the country.
Yes. I mean, knowing Tata, I believe it'll be for the good reason, for the benefit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Bachanji, shall we
Yes.
stop the
Yes.
show
Yes.
here
Yes.
today?
Yes, Deepti, thank you so much for your time and patiently reading the, diaries. Yep, salute to you, and you're a very brave woman. Please do stay safe.
Yes,
You
sure.
are very important to us, you know, um, and yes, very important to fight for justice. Thank you, Deepti.
I have some very great people backing me up. So I can't bring them out in the limelight.
Okay,
So yes, of course, my safety, and even to, I mean, coming out and being able to put this all out so far. I mean, I can never take their names out in the public, but I thank them. I'm always grateful to them for their continuous support behind me.
Mhm. Mhm.
And one of such person who has always come in front of, who has come in front of you is Dhruva, who is commenting now. He has
Yeah.
been, yeah, he has been with me in whatever capacity he
Mhm.
was, and we had doubts initially that maybe he is sold, maybe I am sold, maybe, I mean, such things happened as well. We have we have seen through it. We have stuck
Yeah. Yeah.
together. Yeah, so we have stuck together, and there are other important names as well, which I cannot take. Unfortunately, they wouldn't want me to take some big names which have helped me financially, because taking a case to ICJ, that too is costly. Okay, so yes, people are there. Some Ratians are there behind me, without whose support I wouldn't be able
Yeah.
to come in front of you people and tell all this to you.
Yeah.
So,
For the safety also, you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Dhruv has sent a message. Can I talk on it? Sorry, Dhruv, it's already like 1 hour 51 minutes. Deepti ji need to rest and she need to go and sleep too. She actually read a one big diary. Today's diary is actually quite long. She was actually reading it, so we will talk about it some other day too. Thank you for watching us. And Deepti ji, thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. Have a nice weekend. See you soon
Thank
again.
you, Bachanji. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have
Bye
it,
bye.
have it. Bye.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you friends for all your messages. I have highlighted all the messages came in. I think the last thing. Okay, let me just highlight the remaining messages. Ambani Tata. Actually, Tata is one of the person I actually look up to. I think he's industrialist. One person who I admire. I mean, inspired by. Like Dipti ji shared. And India is coming back to him. So hopefully it'll be for the better. Now, Nelson, you sent so many messages. Nelson, thank you so much for participating. Putting down your messages. Facebook, my number is open. Okay, Nelson Dorada, you're asking Deepti ji or you're asking me, Nelson? If it's Deepti ji, I'll send a message to her. Okay. Yes, Dhruv. We started a long time ago. Yeah, towards the end because Dhruv have Deepti ji read the whole diary. It was quite long, and then she need to go off. Yeah. Thank you, Nelson. Thank you so much. And what is this? All diversion media, they want to keep people occupied in different stories when the government is busy promoting NWO agenda, new digital India in making people need to wake up. Yeah. Yeah. Nelson. Oh, both. Okay, Nelson. I will take note. So is your Facebook name is Nelson Dorado too? So I probably will will connect with you through Facebook. Or you can also connect with me through Facebook too, or Twitter, or even Instagram. Yeah. Okay. Sangeeta's question: how can Parambir fly? Why our PM is not intervening? Yes, this news is actually up. I think I also followed this news in Republic World. That the question is how even Arnab Goswami is questioning how can somebody get out of the country? There have to be some kind of help from someone, right? So yeah, I do not know whether he really have fled the country, but there's a suspect that he may have fled, and the question arising is who have helped him to flee, because it's not easy to flee the country, especially someone who have been under investigation. Okay, that's it. Thank you everyone for joining me tonight. I'll see you again back with Deepti ji also. And for those Tamil speaking, அனைவருக்கும் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப நன்றி. Uh, தமிழ்ல பேசி ரொம்ப நாள் ஆகுது. ஸோ நிச்சயமா தமிழ்ல ஒரு வீடியோ நான் செய்வேன். இட்ஸ் கம்மிங் அப் சூன். யா மீஸ் கம்யூனிகேட்டிங் இன் தமிழ் டூ. ஸோ தமிழ்ல பேசுவோம். சந்திப்போம் மீண்டும். அனைவருக்கும் நன்றி. வணக்கம். ஹேவ் அ வெரி நைஸ் வீக்கெண்ட். என்ஜாய் யுவர் செல்ஃப். பை பை.